So as we go into Starrcast, we know that a couple years ago when you had your big match with Nick Gage at GCW, it was something that really kind of helped skyrocket things for you on the indies. Now that you're a little bit removed from that, how big of a thing was that for you now as you collect all these belts as the indie god?
I mean, that match with Nick Gage, that death match, it changed the trajectory of my life, my career. It put Matt Cardona on the map, but I feel like in turn I put GCW on the map, and it's been the greatest time of my career since then. I don't care how you define success, money, accolades, happiness. I'm the most successful I've ever been. And I think a large part of that is due to that death match with Nick Gage. And let's not forget that I beat him, and I'm the death match king.
I remember.
You've recently been taking photos with the WWE Women's Tag Team Championship.
Well, I am one half of
Okay.
of the WWE Women's Tag Team Champions. Actually, a two-time.
Okay.
A two-time.
Has that caused any issues for you in your personal life? Has there been any conflict?
Is Vince going to fire me? He already fired me. What's he going to do? People have been asking me, like, oh, what does WWE think? I don't give a fuck what they think. They fired me. And Chelsea's my wife, so we split everything. You know, the dogs, the cats, the championships, the house. Mm-hmm. So I'm half of the WWE Women's Tag Team Champions.
Being that you wrestled in Chicago so many times, do you have any particular memories of the city of Chicago, whether if it's in WWE or in other places?
You know, I lost my GCW title in Chicago, never got a rematch. John Moxley, AEW guy, came in, beat me, never gave me a rematch. Brett Lauderdale from GCW never gave me a rematch. It was a Chicago screw job that night. I'll never forget it.
So Chicago's not the place for you then?
No, good pizza though. Good pizzas.
Well, we mentioned Chelsea winning the women's tag champs and all that stuff. You know, we've seen you pop up in AEW. We've seen you do your thing in Impact, and we still see you doing your thing on the indies. What's the goal for Matt Cardona right now? Do you ever see yourself going back to a major, or what matches on the indies right now interest you?
I'm not interested in matches. I'm interested in money. This fanny pack right here, I'm not trying to look like Michael Hayes. It's full of cash. I vendored myself. I flew myself in. I'm staying at this hotel all on my dime because I bet on myself. There's no vendor bringing me in. You see everyone presented by so-and-so. No, presented by me. I take this very seriously. I'm here to prove that you don't need to be in WWE or AEW to be a pro wrestling star if you push your fucking self. But if Tony Khan called, if Triple H called, of course, I would answer and have a conversation, but it's all about the two C's, the cash and creative. I don't want to just be another guy on the roster. Been there, done that, and I get it if you're happy with that spot for yourself, but I'm not.
Being that you also collect a lot of figures, are there ones that are not on the market that you have your eyes on, especially the very expensive ones?
I am the Michael Jordan of wrestling figure collecting. I have the Major Wrestling Figure podcast. Luckily, I have everything I want. Now I make my own toys. Big Rubber Guys, Major Benny. So it's cool like to see Demolition today and know that we're making their figures, or Marty Jannetty. So now it's my turn to make the figures. So I get to go around these conventions and meet guys I grew up on, or even guys like Nick Gage, who I hate, but I know he's popular, so I'll make a figure of him and I'll make money off him. So it's fun to collect figures and to make figures.
Awesome.
Do you have any other endeavors outside of professional wrestling that you're kind of looking to pursue?
Man, I did the Last Match musical. I'm now a producer of it. I'm not going to be in the role. I'm too busy. I can't stop this career. If I was if I was in the twilight of my career, let me do this musical thing. So now I'll just produce from the sidelines, and it's going to be a great success. But I'm the indie god. I'm literally wrestling all over the world every weekend. I had a show last night in Portland, Oregon. Red Eye here today. Flight tomorrow to Philly for MLW. Like, I'm booked every weekend. I can't stop.
So speaking of next weekend, you have a match against Colt Cabana. Do you have anything to say to him?
Yeah, he had that Fart of Wrestling podcast, and it was very successful, and he was the indie journeyman, but I'm the indie god. So it's going to be the past versus the present of the Independence at Wrestling Showcase, and I saw that new championship. I'm a belt collector. It's nice. It's blue strap, has Premier on it. I can't wait to beat Colt Cabana and carry that title with pride.
Go ahead, buddy. So we hear a lot of people talk about, people taking advice and things like that. You revolutionized the way things have gone on the indie scene. How often do you find yourself when you're out here at a Starrcast or at any random indie show, because I listen to Busted Open all the time as well as Dave LaGreca, a past guest of ours. How often do you have people coming to you to try to find out how to make their way out on the indies like that?
Not enough, to be honest. So this run is not about passing the torch. It's about lighting a new one for myself. But along the way, if I can help somebody out, so be it. There are certain guys, girls too. Steph DeLander, Jordan Oliver, I try to take under my wing, give them some advice. Like, when you go to a show, why aren't you signing autographs? Why aren't you selling merch? Forget about the moves. Don't worry about the moves in your match. Like, everyone can wrestle. Everyone can wrestle these days. You got to make the connection with the audience, whether they love you or hate you. Because if you have no connection, what's the point? What are you doing? You might as well wrestle in your backyard.
Matt, going off that, if there were a faction you can build now, other than just building everything around the great Matt Cardona, if there's a faction you can build with any man or woman in any promotion, both indies and in major promotions, who would that be?
Ooh, I think, for a while, the major players, myself, Brian Myers, Chelsea Green, you add Steph DeLander to that, I think we're unstoppable. So.
Hey, Matt, there's a new NWA World Heavyweight Champion, EC3.
Oh, yeah, I saw.
What's your thoughts on the new champion and also Tyrus retiring?
Listen, I go way back with Tyrus. He had a hell of a run. I love Tyrus. I'm glad he got to go out on his own terms. EC3, we've had history together, but I never lost the NWA World Heavyweight Championship. I tore my bicep. I came back in record time. Billy Corgan stripped me of the title. I respected his decision. I think it was the wrong move, but it's not my company. So as far as I'm concerned, EC3, he's really just holding my title.
Couple more guys.
With us getting all in last week in England, what are your thoughts on the opportunity now with having an AEW, a WWE? Now you have an actual, some competition. What do you think of those big stadium shows, and how much do you think that helps not only just the big companies, but for guys like you out on the indies, with that bringing so much more spotlight to wrestling as a whole?
Oh my God. I mean, we are in a boom right now. It's obvious. AEW killing it, WWE killing it, and it trickles down to the indies. I think it's the best time ever to be a wrestler and a wrestling fan, because if you're a wrestler, you can wrestle every weekend on the indies. If you're a wrestling fan, you can go every weekend or almost every night of the week. If not every night, you can watch it somewhere, whether a streaming service or television. So this is the hottest time. Everyone talks about the Attitude Era. I grew up in that era, and it was great. But there wasn't wrestling every single night of the week. So this is the best time.
And piggybacking on what you said earlier about selling merch and all that other stuff. Social media, I believe, is also important to market yourself.
I've been saying that for over
Yeah.
a decade. Internet champion.
You was one of the first to do it, and now we see a lot more other wrestlers are doing it. Do you have any thoughts about this?
I mean, it's smart. It's free advertising. Twitter, X, whatever you want to call it. YouTube, TikTok, Instagram. It is all free advertising. Double-edged sword, is free for everybody. How are you going to stand out from every other wrestler? I don't know. Some things you just got to throw at the wall, see what sticks. The Indie God thing, it was supposed to be a one-night spoof. Just come out, dressed as Indiana Jones one night. But I saw the mention of social media. I think we got something here. And now you go downstairs. I'm selling foam fingers, hats, micro rollers, figures, 8x10 stickers. Like, I'm making so much money off something that was supposed to be a one-night spoof. So you just got to capitalize and be aware what your audience wants and doesn't want.
All right, with you being the figure god, you got to tell me all-time favorite figure, anytime, any maker, period.
My knee-jerk reaction to that is the LJN Macho Man Randy Savage. He can do an elbow drop with right arm, left arm. It's just a perfect figure. I love it.
Last one, group.
You'll be debuting for MLW soon. What's your thoughts on the current world champion, Alex Kane?
He's going to lose the title to me, because I'm not coming to MLW or any company just to have a good match. Who gives a shit? I'm coming for buzz, money, and gold. If I can't get all three of those things, I just won't work there. It's that simple.
Thank you, Matt.
All right, see you guys.